The company AMC is set to release the earnings for 2020 on February 25th. Now, the date is not set in stone, but there is a high chance that it will be February 25th. Now, in this video, I'm going to cover what to expect on these earnings and especially how this will potentially impact the price movement of AMC for the coming week. Now, let's get into it. All right, guys. So as we can see here, this is AMC stock. It's been trading pretty high. Kind of high on last Friday, which was the last trading session. And here on the Nasdaq.com, we have the AMC Q4 release where it will be reporting the results for December 20. The whole year, and the quarter ending 2020. Now, Zach consensus estimate. This is a company releasing or making analysis on companies and on stocks. So here they are potentially expecting the company to post a quarterly loss of $3.39 per share. And the upcoming report will represent a year-over-year change of minus 1,068%. This is huge. This is very, very huge. Now, the revenue is expected to be 101 million, almost 102, which is down 88% from a year ago quarter. This is really huge, guys. This is huge, and this is pretty much due to COVID. The fact that people couldn't go to movie theaters because all of theaters were pretty much shut down for a good portion of the year. So that will explain the expectation on the loss. Now, what is the earnings whisper? So basically, what are people on the street or Wall Street are kind of expecting on this to be around? So which is the interesting thing here is that even though the street is wishing or expecting a pretty good loss from the company, here the Zach consensus, it's still a buy. Basically Zach's earnings are still recommending people to buy AMC stock. And I think the reason behind it is, for the long run, for the outlook, especially when we look at the report, it will be interesting to see the guidance, meaning what the company management is actually looking into for the coming the next quarter, or the two next quarters or the whole year, as people will start going back to theaters with the vaccines being more and more spread out, people being more and more vaccinated. We can see that in the US and elsewhere, the number of infections with COVID are decreasing significantly. And as we get into warmer and warmer temperatures, especially here in the US, we can definitely expect the revenues of AMC to be on the uptrend level. So as more people, people have been saving a lot of money, because they've been quarantining, they've been, locked down for a good portion of, the beginning of the year and last year, so the amount of savings of the American people, American individuals are at an all-time high. So people are itching to go out, and personally, I still think that going to the movie theater is a whole experience, even though you can still watch, streaming from Amazon, Netflix, or whatever, from your couch, with your 425-inch smart TV at home. I still think people will need to, be kind of accommodated to a sense of normalcy, meaning going out to shop, going out to movie theaters, socializing with friends, family members, etc., etc. So that being said, I'm still holding my shares. I'm still holding my position on AMC. I initiated a position on AMC, in March last year because I was still thinking this is the company that will definitely benefit from the post-COVID or the economic recovery post-COVID era. So I still think there is a lot of potential to be made here on this company. Now, the big difference will be it won't necessarily be as soon as we expect it, because it might take time for the company to start, engaging revenues again, and more importantly, reducing the amount of debt that they still have. Even though bankruptcy rumors are out of the table, out of the picture, the company still has, outstanding debt, long-term debt, and kind of medium debt to pay. So 2021 will be a very interesting year for AMC, so that's why I recommend really looking into the guidance to which the company will give on the outlook for 2021. Now, back to the earnings. As we can see here on the 1 month chart, here it seems like we are kind of going back to consolidation around, this 550, 560 price range. Now, depending on earnings, if earnings are, way better than expected, so let's say AMC post on the 25th, a less huge loss than is already expected, given the fact that they may have been diluting the outstanding shares for the high prices it's seen due to their whole Reddit thing on their stock. That potentially be another bullish sentiment for people, getting into the trade, getting into AMC stock. Now, in the other hand, in the case that they post an amount of loss that is way ahead of what the Wall Street or the street or the consensus is, I think there might be a potential sell-off, but I won't expect it to be a major sell-off, or even though it's a kind of interesting pullback, I think in the 2-3 or the next week we can see a quick recovery, because again, people are waiting to see how this company will turn out with the whole vaccines and the whole COVID thing kind of getting more and more confidence that we are still beating it, and it can potentially be behind us. So it will be a very interesting week to watch for AMC stock, but I'm still holding my shares. So let me know in your comment section, guys, what you guys are doing for AMC stock. All right, thank you for watching, guys, and I will see you in the next one. Cheers.